of him along with a group of other white teens blocking African American students from entering the Arkansas high school in 1957. And yeah, it looks like he was in a group of teens that was against segregation. And I don't know, it looks like there's some kids in the front that are being crazy, but it looks like he's just watching in the back. But
So are these high school kids, and how does he have a cigarette in his mouth?
because it was the 1957.
See, but one thing I don't understand.
Man, he's so old.
He is.
He was in high school in 57.
That's
Jesus.
crazy. That is old. See, this is what I don't understand. Like, why are you surprised that somebody that was in high school in 1957 wasn't racist? Like everything. You seen Remember the Titans? You know how it was.
All you gotta do is start winning football games. Everyone loves each other.
And then I remember. Oh my God, this
It's crazy because that's like kind of the message in the movie. The message isn't about. I mean, it kind of is about like coming together and doing stuff. But it's like, what if they sucked? Would it still been a great movie if they lost every game?
Oh God, that would have been horrible. And then before we press the video, I remember when somebody said that this may sound cruel. Somebody said, "Yeah, you think the blacks had it bad? You know, the whites had their water fountain, and the colored people had their water fountain. But what about the Asians? What do they have?"
No fountain.
But let's see what Jerry Jones had to say about
what
this.
about, I'm Hispanic and we're here in Texas in the South. What fountain would I use?
Yeah, no fountain.
What about half-breeds? What fountain does half-breeds use? Then we need more fountains.
We need to ask Jerry Jones.
Jerry Jones was there. He knew about the fountains, but let's see what he had to say.
Jerry, your thoughts on the Washington Post article and how the picture they painted of you from a picture when you were 14 years old?
Yeah, that was, 65 years ago, and a curious kid. I didn't know at the time the monumental event, really, that was going on, and I'm sure glad that we're a long way from that. I am, and we just that would remind me just continue to do everything we can to not have those kinds of things happen.
Any regrets of just being in the photo, being there at all?
What?
Any regrets on being in the photo, being there at all?
Well, I wouldn't have just dug that up for sure. I mean, seriously, but that was curiously.
I want to know, how did they know that?
So he was saying he was curious, George.
How did they know that was Jerry Jones? But I mean, at the end of the day, he should have just owned it. Like, he's like, man, I'm old. Like, I was with my friends. This is what we did back in the day. I realize I'm older now. I learned my ways.
He's like, my parents were a certain way.
And you know what everybody always say? Like, I don't dislike gay people. My co-host is gay. He can say the same thing. I don't dislike black people. I own the Cowboys. My quarterback's black.
You about to get that hat flipped off your head. There ain't no gay around here. I'll show you how straight I am by taking your manhood.
Oh,
I'm just kidding.
That's whoa.
I don't take disrespect well, and you're gonna find out. I give disrespect. I don't take no disrespect.
All right, calm down, Kimbo Slice.
You're gonna get Kimbo'd for real.
Hey, but besides that, you know, Stephen A. Smith had to put his 2 cents in. Looks like Stephen A. Smith says what?
This is why Skip Bayless left Stephen A. This is exactly why we got a better co-host than Shannon Sharp, and Undisputed is way better than First Take. But before I go into that more, let's hear the clip.
That we get all of that. We also understand what we as black people and as black folks, black men have to deal with. And by the way, to some degree, we still deal with a lot of things, and we all know it. Racism is alive and well. Bigotry and prejudice is alive and well. We get all of that. But you're going to bring up a photo of him when he was 14, 15 years old. 65 or 66
No, he wasn't even in
years
high
ago.
school.
He
was just watching.
This is where cancer culture gets into the mix, and you're
Exactly. This is what cancer culture. Like, you You can't cancel somebody for something they did when they was a kid. When it was like this is the time frame they
I
was
mean,
in.
he wasn't. He was even younger than I thought. He was a middle schooler. So I mean, are you really gonna get mad at a middle schooler that doesn't know any
He
better?
was hanging with his friends.
And it doesn't look like he was the one being a jerk. It looks like he was literally watching. You could kind of see him trying to see what was going on. But he shouldn't be canceled for that. He should be canceled for being the owner of the Cowboys. The Cowboys suck. I don't care that they're good this year. They've won 2 playoff games in 20 years. I don't know how they're America's team. They're full of a bunch of bums. Dak Prescott is a bum. And, I don't care how many wins they get in the easiest regular season of any team in the league. They're going to fold like cheap blankets in the playoffs. And